there, guys. Alright, Donnie Moonshine here with another tutorial video. So, you just finished your storage system, and you have all these shulker boxes to unload, but you don't want to have to manually put them into the input chest. So, I developed this circuit for just that. How this works is, if you look here, you have your 16 diamonds. Look in your output, you have nothing. If you take your shulker box, and you just plug her right in here, the light comes on, which indicates that the shulker box is being emptied. Once the shulker box is empty, you can go ahead and take it back, and the hopper won't take it from you, and you'll see that your 16 diamonds end up in your output. Alternately, if you would like to put the shulker box into the system as well, you flick this button here, and you will see that now you have your shulker box in your system. Now, right here, all we have is just an output chest, but I do have it so that you can, or I have some examples here so that you can see it put into a storage system. So right here, we have Tango Tech's storage system, self-sorting storage system. And I have my 15 diamonds here. And if we look in this first chest here, we only have one diamond there. So if we go ahead and we put our shulker box into the plug, you'll see that our light comes on, which indicates that the shulker box is emptying. Go ahead and watch that empty there. And if we look up here, we will see that our 15 diamonds are getting inserted into our storage system here. And that's all 15. Now, same thing with your shulker box. If you want it in your output, you go ahead and push this button here. And if we give it a second, this is kind of a big system, so it takes a second. But we will see in just a few seconds here that our shulker box will get put into our output. There it is. So, this is a intricate system here, for like Tango's, and then if you've ever, I'll put a link for that video in the description, but if you've ever seen it, if you're trying to do it exactly as Tango shows it in the video, this would be your next section, which would have your 12 chests, just like this. And then over here, if you're at the end, this would be your output. Otherwise, this would also be, then this here would be where your next section of chests would be. So this whole circuit fits within the spacing here. So if we look over here, this is like the main circuitry of it. So if you take into account this block here, and these two, and this block here, that matches up with this block, and these two, and this one here. So this would be the start of your next one. So you can see all the circuitry for the system, and it has to be done a little bit differently to insert it into Tango's, because it has to be in a one wide space like this. But it can all fit in the one wide space that you have left over, so you can insert this whole system into, say, Tango's huge storage module here. And then down here, out the front, is where you have your circuitry for your shulker box. So this is your floor level here. All this would be covered. You wouldn't see it, but for the purposes of the video, I have it shown here so you can see. It all comes out the front, so it doesn't interact with any of the back circuitry. And then if we just go over here, this is your basic storage system that most people probably start out with. So we have our sorting mechanism for diamond, emerald, lapis, gold, and iron. So here we have 5 of each. If we check the chest here, all empty. If we check this chest, we're empty. So we can go ahead and take our shulker box here, boop, and plug it right in there. And as we can see, we are emptying out all of our 25 items here. And we're going to start hearing some loud clicking for the item elevator. And then if we just look, 5 diamonds there, 5 lapis, 5 gold, 5 iron, and there's our 5 emerald. It was just taking a second. So we have all of the 5 of all of our stuff. And then if we push this button here, whoop, and we can hear the clicking, and now we just wait here for just a few seconds, and you will see that your shulker box ends up in your output. Because shulkers aren't stackable, it's hard to sort them into a system. But this way, you can always put them in your output with your empty ones and then refill them later. So, let's go ahead and pop into creative. And I will show you guys how to build it. If we start out here, we have, this is where your shulker box would go. So we're going to start out, you need a comparator here, and dust, dust, repeater, repeater, torch, and I also forgot a lamp. And you're going to put your lamp right here. And that's it. This is already done. I mean, that is the whole circuit, just for unloading. So if you have your shulker here, pop that in like this, and if you have some items in it, it will then unload those items, and they just end up in the hopper because there's no output currently. But you can run this line wherever you want. We just need our piston, and how the piston needs to work is like so. And you want a signal into the bottom of your piston like this. Oh, not like that. Like this, because you don't want to affect the hopper line, so you want your signal a little bit away for the piston like this. And then, whoops. Did not mean to break you. Okay, so you see now your piston is out. And I always put my button, and you can run your button wherever you like, but I always put my button right here. So the easiest way to get from there to there is we'll just have a torch. That will shut off your piston. And then you just need dust here and a repeater here. Nope, not there. And not like that. Repeater here. And then your button here should now fire your piston for you. Just like this. Okay, and then we also need a input signal to turn off this torch to allow your shulker to get dropped in here when you press the piston button. So the easiest way to do that is to run a probably line something like this, and you just go ahead and dust that over to here, and go ahead and pop that onto 4 ticks of delay, so that when you push it, it will keep your torch off long enough to get the shulker into it. So now if you insert a shulker box like so and push your button, you will see that the delay is on the wrong one. We need the delay to be on this one. Sorry guys. And this one needs to be no ticks of delay. So we go ahead and pop our shulker in. And you'll see that it is now in here. Okay. So that is you done. Like, that's the whole circuit. This would be your floor here. Typically, I like to do something to cover up the shulker like this. Or, I'm sorry, to cover up the piston. And then it's always good to have like a block there so that the shulker doesn't go flying anywhere. So there it is. That is that circuit done. Boop. And if we look in our hopper here, we will see that we now have shulker in it. There it is. Now, for those of you crazy people who want the shulker to automatically get eaten after it's empty. So in this scenario, let's just pop one here, and we can throw in, here, we'll just throw in some dust here. As you see, it is unloading all of that, and once it's done, the shocker will automatically, and let's just put a block here just for safety reasons. The shocker will automatically get put into your system. So for that, you simply have to build the same circuit over, but make it a little bit bigger here. So what we're gonna want is, we don't need a button now, but we do need a comparator. So for your comparator, you're gonna go comparator, and then repeater, dust here still, repeater here still, and your lamp, and then you're going to want 3 repeaters here. 1, 2, 3. 3. All default ticks. This one you need on 3 ticks, or 4. 3 ticks. And then you need a falling edge monostable, which is this little baby circuit here. So we will get our piston inserted here. Piston there. And you're going to have a block here with a observer running into it, which is going to be tricky to place right here, but we'll make it work. Boop. We'll just place that first. So observer, and that there with a comparator output here, with a dropper. We're going to want, we need a dropper here with a hopper running into it, which I probably don't have. Hopper running into that. Any old item, I'm holding redstone, we'll put that in. Okay. And then a torch here. And that's everything. So it should now auto fire as soon as it's empty. So now you have both circuits, both super simple, pretty small. And then like with this one here, this will be your floor level right here. And then also still put a block there probably just so the shocker has something to break against. This is your floor level here. And there you have it, guys. Not very big circuits at all. So you have the one that you manually put your shocker into your output, and then you also have the one where it will automatically put it into your output as soon as it's empty. I also forgot to mention, guys, that if you, this isn't like an only input system. You could have a chest as well as depending on where you're going with it. Like, let's just throw something in here just so we have a direction. But if you want to like have a chest as well as this, that is definitely possible. It's not, it doesn't take the place of your input entirely. You could still have your input chest, say right, new 1.13 chests are a little bit silly here, but say you want your chest here. I mean, obviously these 2 blocks, not that. Obviously these 2 blocks here would have to be stairs or some sort of non-solid block. And then the same thing with this one. You could just still have your input chest. So I want you guys to keep in mind you can input chests and shockers at the same time. Anyway, this has been Donnie Moonshine. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave me a like. And if you really liked it, let me get those subs, guys. I could super use them. Thanks. Bye.